Tom Jones here from P6 Biz Builders. If your business has decent sales, but your cash still feels unpredictable, this presentation is for you. It's not for you. It is for you. Most business owners I work with are amazing at sales. That's why they have a successful business. They have good sales, but that's usually not the problem. The real problem is you don't have a simple way to predict cash flow, so it feels like feast and famine. What is your biggest cash stress right now? Late payments? Making sure you have enough money for payroll? Your tax bill just came due? Or is it something else? A couple things before we start here. I want you to do a quick favor for me. Grab a pen and paper, because I'm going to give you a few simple tweaks that you can write down and use right away. I want you to leave with a plan, not just, yeah, that was nice. You don't have to take down everything, but there's probably going to be something that stirs you up and just write that note down. Now again, remember, today is for general education only. This is not tax, legal, or accounting advice. Every business and every family is different. So talk with your own advisor before you make any decisions. And if you happen to not have an advisor, you can always direct message me. We can set up a time to talk and see if we mesh together and I maybe can become your advisor. Today we're talking about the feast and famine cycle, about cash. Remember, this is about cash flow. So 1 month you're thinking, okay, we're back, we're good. Everything's great, cash balance looks good. The next month, you're standing in the grocery store doing math like, okay, if I grab this and this, we're still fine, right? Or are we not? That's what feast and famine feels like. It's common, but it's not normal, and it is fixable. Remember, kind of back to that old thing that we've talked about before. What you can measure, you can manage. Keep that in the back of your mind, or even write that down on the piece of paper that I had you take up. Why is this topic so loud right now? Things keep coming up right now. I hear it from business owners. I hear it on broadcasts, everything else. Costs have still been up. Maybe you've gotten a little better on some things, but they're still up. Cash feels tighter. Payroll weeks feel heavier because you kind of don't know where your cash is at. And if just a couple of customers pay late, it can throw off your whole month. So even good businesses are saying, we're working hard. Why does cash still feel stressful? And that's usually one of the biggest stress problems that people have is cash flow and just managing the cash in their business. But here's the thing. Cash flow problems don't usually show up out of nowhere. They build. The main reason I see owners are guessing because they can't see the cash coming and going ahead of time. You can be profitable on paper and still feel broke in real life. Does it ever feel like your business makes money, but you're the last one to feel it? So you look at the P&L every month that makes money, but you look at yourself and you go, well, I haven't seen any of that money. I haven't felt any of that money. What's going on? Again, we're talking about feast and famine, but feast and famine doesn't always mean I'm broke. Sometimes it looks like you want to hire, but you keep saying not yet. You're slammed, but you're scared to add payroll because you don't know where you are in the cash flow. You delay marketing because you're not sure what you can afford. Wouldn't that be awesome that you knew what you'd be able to afford? You get that knot in your stomach every time payroll hits. I hear it a lot from business owners. I got payroll next week. I don't know where I'm going to get the cash. You check the bank balance more than your email. Checking it every 10 minutes isn't going to change it. Do any of these examples hit home? Which one is the most true for you right now? Wouldn't you like to solve it? And here's what sneaks up on people. Cash problems build quietly. What do I mean by that? One client pays late. We've all had that problem. One job requires money up front. You're going to get into this new project that you need for your company, but they need money up front. And then that takes it out of your cash balance and it affects you for that payroll next week. Your expenses creep up because you haven't been monitoring them. Or, of course, this time of year, everybody's getting their tax returns done. Taxes hit at the wrong time. Did you have a slow month and all of a sudden you have a big tax bill? When these type of things happen, then suddenly everything feels tight all at once. Question for you. When cash does get tight, what does it stop you from doing? Does it stop you from hiring? Does it stop you from paying yourself? Does it stop you from investing in the company or in your private life? Or even just taking time off because you feel you can't take that time off because of the cash? Now let's talk about the number one trap, running your business off the bank balance. Your bank balance is not a plan, it's a snapshot. It tells you what happened, not what's coming next. It's like driving while only looking in the rearview mirror. It's like what we talked about last week. What's happening in the rearview mirror is you can't change that. That's what the bank balance is. You want to try to plan forward, look through that front windshield. So here's the shift. You don't fix feast and famine by working harder. You fix it by asking better financial questions consistently. Not just once, you got to do it consistently until it's a habit. And these questions work whether you're a contractor, a cleaning company, a print shop, a promotional goods company, really any service businesses will work for you. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you 4 better questions to ask yourself about cash flow. You have to do this consistently. You have to keep doing this consistently. Better question number 1. When does revenue actually turn into cash? Again, we talked about the P&L, You got the revenue there, but when does it actually turn into cash? And what has to be paid before that happens? So you may have payroll, you may have to have a down payment on another job. Because remember, sold and paid are not the same thing. Sold shows up here in P&L to show that you had a good month financially, but paid helps your bank balance. If you could see that gap clearly, what decisions would get easier this week, this month, this quarter? Think about that. Better question number 2. What are your expenses that are already locked in the next 30, 60, or 90 days? So again, you want to think about that. Look forward, not in the back. What's going to happen 30, 60, 90 days? Basically, the next quarter, each month, the next quarter. This is why keeping your bookkeeping up to date and clean matter. Because if you don't have clean books, you really can't understand what's going to be due in the next 30, 60, 90 days. If your numbers are behind, you end up guessing. And we all know that guessing isn't good. Having those clean books and actual numbers, you won't guess anymore. Better question 3. Which clients or jobs require me to front the most money before I get paid? And what does that mean? Well, you could take a job. You're going to take a job from a client. It's going to cost you X number of dollars, but you may have to pay payroll. You may have to pay an outside consultant or whatever else before your client will actually even pay you. So does that mean it's a bad job? No, but maybe you need to change the terms on the job, or you may need to look at it as, just because I'm busy doesn't mean it's healthy. If that client's a bad payer and you have to front all that money up front, it's not going to help your cash flow. So in that example, the revenue looks great, good to great, but it's a cash flow killer because you're putting up all of this cash before you even get paid. So think about that. Really analyze your jobs. How much money am I going to have to put out front before I even get paid? Better question number 4. If I say yes to this decision, could be anything. What happens to my cash over the next 60 days? If I have a new hire, if I decide to buy new equipment, a new vendor, new marketing. Also, like we just talked about, better question 3, if I take on a new client, what happens? You can't just say you can't just look at this and say, is it a good idea? But you need to look at it and say, can my cash support it without panic? So you got to look at your cash flow. And if I make this decision, will I end up panicking in 2 weeks or will I not panic in 2 weeks? Now think about this. What happens if nothing changes in the way you're doing your cash analysis right now? And you keep guessing like this for the next 6 to 12 months. What's going to happen in your business? Let me give you another example. There's 2 companies that can do the same revenue. One owner sleeps at night. The other is stressed every week. And it's not just how much you sell. It's how fast you get paid and what you owe before that money shows up. Safe isn't always the issue. Timing is. Yes, you're eventually going to hopefully get paid by that client, but when do you actually have the money in your pocket? And when timing becomes the issue, that's what creates the weekly stress and sometimes it's sleepless nights that can cause. Now a little self-promotion here. This is what we do inside P6 Biz Builders. We help owners build control across the pillars that actually move the needle. Back to those clean numbers you can trust, cash flow you can predict, profit you can keep, systems so you're not trapped in the business, tax planning so the surprises stop, and a real plan to grow. You implement everything, you can grow up to 10 times in 3 years with the right foundations. And my style is simple. I call it the top service, top owner priority service. You get proactive support, not waiting weeks for answers while you guess what's going on with your cash flow or your systems or whatever else. We work together a lot. If this hits home and you're thinking, Tom, I get it, but I still don't know what cash looks like next month. Here's what I'll do. I have a 13-week cash flow forecast template. This template helps you stop guessing and see what's coming. Start with today and you work it out for the next 13 weeks. You can see your highs and lows of your cash balance. Wouldn't it be nice if you could look at something? Let's do a little example here. If you could look at something and you start here, but you can see it doing this, and also it does this, or this, just so you can start seeing those ups and downs, so you can plan for it. Wouldn't that be awesome? If it sounds like something you can use, direct message me and say cash flow template, and we'll send you the details. Or if you'd rather talk through it, book a free 30-minute proactive cash flow and profit strategy session with me. You can DM me for the link, or just book it through the link that we'll have in the comments section later today. And by the way, do you know of any other businesses or individuals who could use the services, whether it be cash flow planning, tax planning, or just any one of our 6 pillars? Please share this video with them or have them direct message me or share the link to book the free 30-minute proactive cash flow and profit strategy session. I'm here to help people because the goal is simple. If I'm helping people, they're going to have less surprises, more control, way calmer cash flow, and not only calmer cash flow, They're going to know what's going on with their taxes, their systems, everything. I hope you found this presentation helpful. And again, thanks for watching. Thanks for showing up. And then remember, if you want that template, just direct message me, cash flow template, and we'll make sure that we'll send you the details on how to get it for you. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.